by Elisa Medhus. Erik Medhus came quietly into this world at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, without so much as a whimper. He gazed around the room as if in awe of this new place where he would live for all too brief a period of time. When our eyes locked, the chemistry was palpable. I knew he would be a bright light in my life. As a child, Erik was so well behaved, often playing with his Legos quietly in his room, while his siblings were running roughshod nearby. Even when he was only 18 months old, he demonstrated a tremendous capacity for compassion. I remember the day I brought him home from the pediatrician's office after he'd gotten a slew of childhood immunizations. His thighs were littered with Band-Aids, and his cheeks were stained with tears. My husband, Rune, asked him how his day had gone, and with his head resting on my shoulder, he said, "I have a good time." He didn't want us to worry about him. In fact, he frequently wanted to console us. Whenever I held and comforted him after he got a boo-boo, he'd pat me on the shoulder as if to comfort me. Erik grew up in a home in a Houston neighborhood with my 4 other children, Rune and me, so our family was big and boisterous. There was never a dull moment in our energetic and playful household. Erik, third in the pecking order, was the mischief maker among his siblings. He loved playing practical jokes on them and often teased them with a sense of impish delight. His siblings weren't the only ones who were a target of his pranks, though. He'd often hide behind the kitchen cabinets and then jump out and yell, "Boo!" when Rune or I came home from work. Playtime with his siblings was always creative and frequently noisy. One of his favorite games was to chase them through the house with his tighty whities on his head while pelting them with rolled-up socks. He also loved playing war outside with his brother and sisters, and some of the neighborhood kids, toting airsoft guns around and in full camouflage clothing and face paint. Erik had a beautiful mix of softness and toughness to him. He loved all things beautiful, especially women. He even asked his preschool teacher for her hand in marriage. He also loved anything with wheels, just like his father did. For that reason, Erik looked up to Papa, a stockbroker by trade, and wanted so badly to be a part of his world of fast cars and faster motorcycles. As for the two of us, our relationship was very close. In fact, we could share anything with one another, and Erik had no qualms about discussing what other children would consider inappropriate dialogue with a parent. He even asked for advice about sex. I cherished that closeness and was amazed at his candidness and trust. Despite his happy start, Erik changed around the time he became 14. He suffered from severe bipolar disorder, an illness that can turn terminal. The light within him began to lose its glow as he entered his teens, and life here on Earth became extremely difficult for him.